My community is full of people who I've grown to love and appreciate, and it's also full of people who do not treat me as kindly because of the color of my skin.
When people think of Americans, generally they think of like Caucasian people, and they don't think of an Asian person, a black person, or brown person.
Being a person of color in Macedonia, I think you stand out more. You're a new face, something very unfamiliar to them here in Macedonia.
Here, it's like you see a black person and you walked into a cafe, it's like literally every head in the cafe turns.
It's very obvious when I am here and when I did arrive. I did not get any awkward stares, just more smiles, some snickers.
When I'm out with friends or with colleagues, you know, I'm often gazed at, and people are just curious about who I am because I look different from other people here.
Some of the stereotypes that I encounter in Macedonia are things like, oh, I'll make you rice next time you come over, or I'll find you some chopsticks next time you come over.
I'm asked to take pictures by strangers. People want to touch my hair and my skin, and they point and stare a lot.
Inadvertently, people touching my hair without asking me.
People sometimes think that I'm some kind of celebrity or a basketball player or a rapper or something like that, and none of those are true.
I've had to develop certain coping mechanisms, such as listening to music as I walk down the street, or literally developing tunnel vision to block out comments and stares.
I met somebody at a conference, and he was like, oh, so where are you from? And I was like, I'm from America. And he was like, but where are you really from? Which is offensive, because by asking us where we're really from, it's implying that we're not really American, and that hurts.
In America, we're surrounded by so much diversity all the time, and it's not even something we think about. So here it's been interesting. During January, it's a big tourist month, and I couldn't even walk outside of my house without getting harassed by a bunch of teenagers from another town. And that got really hard when I got to the point where I didn't even want to leave my house because I didn't want to interact with people.
I'm born in 1972, and in that time we didn't learn at school about that, how you feel about that word. Also, how I didn't know the real meaning of the word. So that's why I asked you, what is it? And when my son came from the college, because he's mixed there with also African American kids, and when I told him, he said, "Mom, what did you do?" And I said, also, okay, I was so sorry to Monique, so I didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
So
and that was a really good learning experience.
yes, that is a learning experience for me, yes.
One thing I would change is the assumption that black people are all monolithic or the same.
I respect the black American basketballs, especially Michael Jordan. She's the best.
If I could change something regarding the way people regard or view my race here in Macedonia, or ethnic identity, it would be that black or African American people were creative, beautiful, intelligent, travel oriented.
We're all from flesh and blood, you know, and no matter what the skin color we have, we're all humans, you know, and we should respect each other no matter, you know, what the skin color is.
I still think, and I still do deeply believe that every situation like that, it's like full with sympathy, and it's not like it's demonstrated maybe in the wrong way by the people.
Ја заборала кој беше. Ама не Erasmus Plus беше, ама
Искрено, мојата првична перцепција за афроамериканците е дека се тоа честни, трудолюбиви, упорни и луѓе кои што знаат што сакат во животот, секогаш со визија и решение за проблемите кои што ги имавме во текот на нашата работа.
Добре, ќе давам пари после.
As a teacher by nature at heart, I felt very embraced and welcomed by the students here, the children here. When I started working at the primary school, they were very excited to have a new volunteer, an American, friend, teacher come here.
Some of my most positive experiences here in Macedonia as a Peace Corps volunteer of color have been the small things. Taking a taxi ride and people being really friendly and excited to meet me, and when I tell them I'm half Filipino, they want to know more about that.
Most of my positive experiences have been with my students. I love getting to know them as individuals, teaching them about American diversity, and just hearing their perspective on diversity in Macedonia.
I have had lots of experiences with my host family and my colleagues for that matter as being an ally for me. Number one, they're present. They've never made it an issue. They've never really discussed it. They took their time in wanting to ask me questions about what it felt like for me to be a person of color here. They are always making jokes and making light of things that I might find too serious to remind me to laugh, which I really enjoy.
Првата реакција кога Алисом ја сретнав беше ќе биде моја трета ќерка и така видно.
We find almost every angle possible to enjoy each other, and that to me makes them an ally in the forefront.
My family here in Kruševo, they love just taking me out and just having me be part of their everyday lives. They always, not that it comes up often, but if it does come up, they'll just say, she's our American.
I loved being Filipino beforehand, before coming to Macedonia, but since being here, it's really greatly enhanced my love for my culture and also the culture that I've lived in here in Macedonia for 2 years now.
Go in with a really open mind. You're going to see people who will discriminate against you and who are going to call you names and treat you differently than white volunteers. But you also have to understand that there's going to be people who will see you for who you are. You're going to make amazing bonds with Peace Corps volunteers and with host country nationals that are going to last you your whole life.
Take joy in who you are and don't feel burdened by the color of your skin.
To have patience with your host country. It's a big learning opportunity for them, and this is also a really big teaching opportunity for you, and that's what we're kind of here for, as Peace Corps volunteers.
It's very important for you to just be proud of your heritage and who you are, and to express that openly and honestly to the people here. Reach out to other allies, and other Peace Corps volunteers of color for support, for strength, for wisdom. You don't have to suffer alone or go through this experience alone. There's people out there who can help you and reach out to you. So don't be an island by any means. And enjoy the experience.